BMRforum.com and BMRodds.com, boys. What is going on? Welcome back to the lobby, episode number 135. Hopefully, everybody's having a great afternoon out there. As always, each and every week, Mr. Sam's in charge. What's up, Sammy?
What up, Bobby? Just enjoying the day off. It's been brick for the last couple weeks in upstate, negative degrees pretty much every morning. I think
Really?
we're starting to hit double digits, so it's starting to get a little bit warmer. But yeah, it's been really cold lately. We're
That
excited for the
is
Super Bowl, getting ready for that, staying inside. We already got the menu going as well. I know we'll talk about that.
very nice. Well, that is ugly. Meanwhile, I'm getting ready to go take a dip in the pool after this, as it's 73 and sunny here in Vegas. Reload. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, sunny sounds pretty good. Ice starting to melt a little bit. I think it hit 32 degrees today.
Oh, wow.
I actually finally saw a smidge of it melt, but hey, it's progress, right? And then it's back to being freezing. But
Yes.
like Sammy said, Super Bowl's coming up. That's a lot to look forward to, getting through these winter weeks. Hey, March Madness will be here before we know it. The day clubs in Vegas will be hopping again.
Yep.
We're not too far away from it. Give it another month.
Exactly. That definitely does sound miserable with the cold. Thankfully, it doesn't get like that out here. But Sammy, let's jump into some NBA. What do you got tonight, buddy?
Yeah, so with football ending on Saturday and Sunday, that's when NCAA basketball and NBA is starting to kick in. With Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, typically with college, Sunday mid afternoon with NBA, typically maybe even the Saturday evening as well. So that's nice. The Knicks are back on a winning streak. I know they've been losing the last couple weeks, but they're on a 7-game win streak, playing home to Denver tonight. They should be on board to go for an 8-game win streak, hoping for them. I also like Memphis over the Kings and the Cavs over the Clippers. Anthony Davis was just traded to the Wizards, which is pretty interesting. He's still injured, hasn't played in about a month, teaming up with Trae Young. I don't really know what the goal is with Washington. I mean, I guess they're better, on paper than in previous years, but they got a bunch of older guys. And Anthony Davis, is a glass body, so I don't really know what the strategy is there. And it's kind of funny with Oklahoma City. They're now 40-11. They're still got a 6-game lead in the West, but, in the first 30 games of the year, everyone was saying that they're going to compete with Golden State for 73, 74 wins. Now they're 40-11. They're going to be the dominant number one. They're the NBA favorites. But the Spurs, I'll tell you what, are the number 2 over there. The Spurs are definitely going to compete with them. They beat them a few games in a row. And then in college, the top 5 is still pretty dominant. Arizona's undefeated. You have Miami, Ohio, that's undefeated. They're sitting at like 22 in the country. They keep squeaking out games, but they're finding ways to win. But they're due for like a 5-6 game losing streak. Michigan is solid at number 2, UConn number 3, Duke number 4, Illinois number 5. So pretty exciting couple weeks going into college basketball as we go into conference play, and then we're a month away from March Madness.
All righty, Sammy. So I know the Knicks, as you alluded to, are on a winning streak. Have you been riding them?
No, actually, I haven't really been, because they've been losing. And actually, some of their wins, some of the teams that they go up against, they're double-digit favorites. And even tonight, they're 6 points over Denver. I don't really love the spread. I like them to win, but
Right.
they're too big on the money line. Plus, with the YouTube TV, you don't actually get them unless you have Gotham Sports, which I'm not getting that.
Right.
I don't have Spectrum, so with not able to watch a lot of their games, I'm not betting them. Although I did have them last Saturday night over the Lakers because they were on Peacock, NBC. So it all depends. It's kind of frustrating. We talk about it all the time with all the streaming services.
Right, of course. Thank you, Sammy. Reload, over to you. NBA on deck tonight. What do you got?
Yeah, well, as usual, I'm against Sammy here. I do like the Nuggets plus the points against the Knicks. Like Sammy said, it is tough laying points with the Knicks. They've been hot, they win, but they start to get kind of overvalued when they get on these winning streaks. And I think it's the same thing here tonight. Both teams are coming in off back-to-backs. The Knicks are coming in off the win over Washington, which was an easy win for them. The Nuggets come in off a loss in Detroit. So when both teams are on back-to-backs, I like taking the team that's off a loss. I think that's the best way to do it. And getting some points here, I think the Nuggets will keep it close down the stretch. Also going to take the New Orleans Pelicans, a rare road favorite spot for the Pelicans. I don't know if that's happened almost the whole year. I don't know. But this shows you how low the Milwaukee Bucks are falling here. Pelicans -5 there. And finally, I'm going to take the LA Clippers tonight. I think that disagrees with Sammy too. Plus the short deuce at home to Cleveland. Clippers off a loss to Philly Monday, and I think they bounce back here. I think they get a good spot and should beat Cleveland at home. So those are the 3 picks tonight.
Awesome, Reload. Thank you, and good luck with those. Sammy, over to you. College basketball as well on tap for this evening. What do you got?
Yeah, for college basketball, I kind of talked about a little bit with the rankings. I like Michigan State over Minnesota tonight and BYU over Oklahoma State. A lot of the action, big Monday, big Tuesday. Wednesday's only, there's a lot of games on, but not a lot of top 25 action. So those are the 2 games that I'm kind of looking at.
All righty. Reload college basketball tonight. You got anything?
Yeah, I got a few picked out there. George Washington -1 at St. Joe's. That looks good to me with the short number. I also like Northwestern +15 against Illinois. And the play I like the most, Creighton +2. I went up to the alt line of +2 against Georgetown. So that's GW, Northwestern, and Creighton for 3 plays tonight.
All righty, thank you. So, Sammy, the winter games are starting this Friday. Always a good time. I'm sure you're going to be watching them, but do you have any bets coming up for them?
Yeah, I mean, you can't really bet too much unless you're looking at futures. And when you're looking at futures, really the only one I like is going to be the USA men's hockey at +200. Love to take down Canada. Canada is an EV money favorite, but that's always the most competitive battle. And as far as the hockey goes, and you're getting a little bit of value. Obviously, this is the number one way just to be the homie and bet USA on everything. But you got to pick your spots. I like watching a lot of the events. Some of them are crazy, like the skeleton, which is the one man, like the one man bobsled type thing, where they have the 2 and the 4 person bobsled. But this is like a 1 person, but not in a bobsled. It's just down like it's like a skateboard. It's like a 1-man skateboard, and they're going like 80, 90 miles per hour. That shit is crazy, the skeleton. But I love the curling event, downhill skiing, the biathlon event. Those are always fun. The figure skating events. Vaughn is got like a torn ACL, Lindsey Vaughn, and she's going to try to go after she hasn't competed in like 12 years. So there's always a lot of great storylines, and it'll be on during the day, during prime time too. So, you got to pick your spots, but we're going to be betting on a bunch of USA. Got to go with USA. Go USA.
Of course. Thank you, Sam. Reload, over to you. Winter Olympics coming up. You taking a look at anything?
Yeah, well, I always like the Olympics too, mainly into the ice hockey. Like Sammy said, I think that's really the most competitive one to keep watching. Even some of the early games and some of the early rounds are worth tuning in for. I don't have any picks on it yet. Really have to kind of size things up, watch some of the games, see what's going on. Sometimes you can catch teams in some good spots here or there in those games. But I'd have to say Sammy's probably on the money there, taking an early position on the U.S. because I think those odds would likely only go down over time. More people, they get into it. They start betting some of the later games, and that could drive the odds down. So good move getting in early there. The other events, pretty fun to watch. Curling, how can you not watch that? I see that there's a bunch of that scheduled already. I tend to stay away from events that involve judging because usually it's just so crooked anyway. But maybe in some of the late rounds a bit, get more into that. So, it should be pretty fun with the Olympics. Don't know if I'll bet anything. Probably not until later on.
All righty. Thank you, Reload. Sammy, over to the green, the golf circuit. The Waste Management Phoenix Open is coming up. What do you got?
Yeah, Phoenix Open is definitely one of the more fun events. Welcome back, PGA Tour, as they get ready for the Masters a couple months away. When it comes to betting on individual events, I don't. I pretty much will only bet the majors, or I'll bet live on Saturday or Sunday. So when it comes to the Phoenix Open, I'm definitely going to pay attention. I think it's hole 17, the par 3, where the crowd is allowed to get a little bit rowdy, especially if there's a hole in one, the place will go bonkers. So always like when they're allowed to get the crowd involved, respectfully, of course. But, I always love the big time players, and I definitely will watch on Saturday and Sunday, and it'll be a good tune up to watch before the Super Bowl. Same with the UFC, another off sport, that happens once a week type thing. UFC had the main 2 cards over the last week. You call it the pay-per-views, but now on Paramount, you're just watching everything. So I've stayed up and watched the last couple of weeks with Paddy the Baddy a couple weeks ago versus Gagey, and then he had Volkanov that won. Last week he won in majority decision. This week isn't a major card, but it's still a fight night event. So definitely going to watch that on Saturday, and the Phoenix Open over the weekend. Love the golf action. Definitely can't play for a few more months myself, but it's like a pregame for me playing.
Awesome. Reload, over to you. Waste Management Phoenix Open this weekend. Did you take a look at anything?
No, I didn't take a look there. But you mentioned the UFC. I'll be checking that card out. Like Sammy said, it's been nice having it on Paramount. I watched the action from Australia. The card they had Saturday night was pretty good. They did change some things around on Paramount, made it some improvements in how the ads were working and all that. So you did get to catch a little bit more than what was there before. I also figured out a bit of a hack. If you go to the UFC multi-view choice, there are 3 ads on that at all. So you are kind of stuck with a quad box and nothing happening in 2 or 3 of the boxes. But if you're tired of ads coming up, you might want to click that on for a while and see how you make out there. You do get to see when the fight's happening. They have a camera on each corner and the cornermen. So if you are live betting, you might be able to get a read out of them. Not that my betting was too well with the UFC last week. I went 1-2. Volkanovski was my only winner, and that was an easy one. Boy, I wish they could all be as easy as that one.
Right.
But I'll take a look at the card. Maybe I will post some UFC bonus plays again, like I've been doing. Maybe as we build our bankrolls to the Super Bowl, it's nice to get that last winner on a Saturday night.
Awesome. Thank you, Reload. Definitely be on the lookout for his picks, and thank you for that tip as far as the ads are concerned. But, guys, this Sunday, as we all know, is the big game. So what do you got planned? Me personally, I was just talking to my brother-in-law yesterday, as a matter of fact. I think we're going to go over one of our other family members' house. I will certainly supply the alcohol, and they'll supply the food, and it should definitely be a good time there. But Sammy, what do you got planned?
Yeah, I pretty much always host. I got a couple of my friends that I always hang out with. They're going to come over in the afternoon and play some games, and then I will get ready. As far as food, my one buddy just said he's going to bring over some chocolate cake for dessert, and then I think I'm going to make that the one-pan nachos, where you put the nachos on there, you put the nacho cheese down, and then you put like some hamburger, some cheese, and then you throw it in the oven. Then you throw it down over the nachos, and you throw some like sour cream and pico de gallo up on top of it. So I think we're going to do that. It's a nice, easy thing to make, and we'll definitely feed 4 or 5 of us. Plus, I always got beer in the fridge, always got whiskey on hand, and watch the game. Tons of props, tons of action, and tons of squares. I don't like any of my numbers, but we'll get to that.
Sounds good. Reload, over to you. What do you got planned for the big game? You get invited to any watch parties?
Yeah, you would think I would have been, but this year is a little different. No invites for me. Last year I got invited to that nice one I went to, but no invites this year. I have seen some decent deals around. Pizzeria Uno is doing all-you-can-eat pizza and wings at the Pizzeria Uno near me for $29.95.
Oh, wow.
All the pizza, wings, and you get 2 drinks included too. So I might hit that one up. I'm still trying to decide what to do, really. But I always think of something good. Hey, I might watch a half one place, drive around, watch the second half at another place. And, of course, I'll always stock up on snacks for home. Even if I don't use them for Super Bowl, it's good to have them around. It's good to kind of get the fever going with the gigantic carton of goldfish, or the a gigantic tub of pretzel rods, and the gigantic 30-ounce bag of potato chips, which you got to just stock up anyway. You got to get the fever going, and even if you don't even open them for the game, they're still there. They get you through the rest of the week.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Out here, I was not invited to any Super Bowl parties either. Last year, I went to the Palms. They had a really nice all you can eat, all you can drink Super Bowl party in their showroom. So that was a really, really good time. But I've been keeping my eyes open. They're kind of expensive out here. You're talking between 150 upwards of $300 for one person to get into an off strip, mind you, off strip, all you can eat, all you can drink party. So, like I said, I'm probably just going to, go over to the family member's house and hang out there and enjoy the game. But, Sam, we can have a whole show itself just dedicated to the props. Have you taken a look at any of the countless number of props, and where are you leaning?
Yeah, there's like 450 props to choose from. I always like to get a couple of props in before the game just so you have
National Anthem is your favorite every year.
Oh, yeah, you got to go with the national anthem. I'm going with the under on that for 125 seconds. And then I'm always a coin toss head guy. And it all depends on what odds you're getting it at. I'm getting it at minus 101. I know Jamesy earlier posted that bookmaker is at plus 106. Hopefully he was able to get on both sides. I'm sure they figured that one out. But coin toss heads minus 101, the under. And then the other props I look at are just game props. I like Cooper Kupp to get over 3 receptions. I think he's going to be an easy target to go after. I like Kayshon Boutte, which is plus money to get over 2.5 receptions for New England. And then their main guy, Stephon Diggs, over 4.5 receptions. Will a 2-point conversion be attempted? That's plus money at plus 150. And then a couple random ones, again, that's kind of the fun of it. I like under 10.5 penalties. So hopefully not a lot of penalties, not a lot of flags thrown in the game. And then under 2.5 turnovers in the game as well. I never go crazy on the props as far as how much money is being bet per prop. So I take a lot of volume for a lot of small action, and then you hope that you just, hit from a volume standpoint. Have a couple at the plus money, a couple at the minus money, of course, and then, hope to get a certain percentage. I mean, what do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 8 that I'm just saying right now. They'll definitely be 10 plus. If you hit 6 or 7, you're profiting money.
And it keeps you entertained for the whole
game.
And
plus I have game action, and plus I got Super Bowl square action. As far as the game goes, I'm going to go with Seattle and the under. I like Seattle on the money line. I really can't decide if I like the spread or not, but I think Seattle overall is going to win that game. And I do like the under 45.5 in a defensive battle. As far as Super Bowl squares go, I have 10 of them. I think I have 6 of my numbers so far. Yeah, 6 out of my 10 numbers, and the 6 I have are horrible. But the good part about the Super Bowl is you hope for a random safety, missed extra point, 2-point conversion, and that can always throw the squares off from what the stereotypical numbers are, because I got some 1s and 9s in my fields, and those are really hard to get to. So definitely hope for some random variable to get lucky to get some Super Bowl squares in there.
All righty, Reload. All righty, Sam. Thank you. Reload, over to you, buddy. Super Bowl, what do you got as far as props and then the game itself?
Yeah, well, for props, what got my wheels turning with the props was Roofer's big contest that he's doing. A shout out to Roofer.
Yes, shout out Roofer.
Awesome prop contest that we're posting on the forum. Check that out if you have a chance out there. All of us are posting our prop picks. Hey, if you run through them, maybe take a consensus of them, maybe, add them all up, then they'll be winners. I don't know if mine will be winners, but I'm looking forward to it because I'm used to not betting props. I'm more of a side and total person, but I give credit to Roofer. He thought of some good props here. They are legit props. They're not silly things like the coin toss or the color Gatorade or whatever. He put some good ones there. So
he did.
Very generous of him to offer a contest like this, and a very unique format to the way the prize money is going to work. And it also is going to raise money for charity. That's a great thing too. As far as the side and total, wow, something must be wrong here today. I'm agreeing with Sammy on the Super Bowl with the Seahawks and the under. I like, the Seahawks money line. I don't know if I'll lay the points. I'm going to let the number kind of run for a while and see if it gets a little better. But the Seattle money line is my lean right now. I'd like to see that get even a little bit better, and I think it could. Right now, the best I've seen out there is about minus 225. And then the best on the spread, I know Bet 105 has -5 at plus odds. And that's not a bad play rather than laying the -4.5. You got to look for these alt numbers and different numbers out there. So I'm going to go one way or the other on that. And then as far as the total goes, I do like the under 45.5. I think that's still playable, even though it's gone down about a point since it came out. If it drops below 45 for some reason, then it becomes a pass for me. That would be too much lost value. I always think of 45 as a super key number for totals. I can't tell you how many times I've had under 45.5 and it cashed by the hook. It happens usually once every couple of seasons. So, yep, under 45.5. And the Seahawks, hope to get a forum post out there on either Saturday or Sunday with my picks for that game, and also any other hoops or anything that happens to be on the undercard that day.
All righty, Reload. Well, thank you. And guys, best of luck on all your prop action, all your full game action. Definitely enjoy the game. And guys, remember, don't bet over your head. It's the Super Bowl. It is a big, important game, but do not go crazy. Only bet what you can afford. But again, good luck on all your action this upcoming week, and we will see you guys on the forum.
So you.
Right.